How's this?
Yeah, so it's crooked. Okay.
Hi. Welcome to another episode.
No, this isn't nap time. We're not doing nap time. We're doing a review. It's our first review.
Hi. Welcome to the first episode of Nap Time Reviews.
Okay. We're doing reviews while it's nap time.
Yeah.
There's one back there asleep.
There's one. Yeah.
The other one, move your head. Can you see there's a car seat. There's one in there asleep.
And it's so crazy. We have to find just pockets of time to do these things.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do this last night, but that's a story for the podcast.
Yeah. So anyway, One Night in Miami.
One Night in Miami.
One Night in Miami. It just came out, I think on Friday on Netflix.
I feel like you were probably following when the movie was going to come out. I think I knew the movie was going to come out, and I think all of a sudden...
Was it Netflix or Amazon?
It was Amazon.
Okay, Amazon.
It was Amazon. And you were just like, I've been waiting for this movie to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came out the day you just so happened looked.
Yeah. So it's on Amazon. It just came out. I know a lot of celebrities already are like telling people to watch it. So this is just our little input for you who has not watched it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anything more like in depth, like give you an additional reasons to watch it. I just think people should watch it.
Yeah. So what it's about, 4 friends. They were really friends in real life.
Crazy.
Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali.
No, Cassius Clay.
At the time, Cassius Clay.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Cooke.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim Brown,
mm-hmm.
football player. Sam Cooke was a musician.
A musician, businessman, entrepreneur.
Yeah. So in the movie, it's just the night after Muhammad Ali got his heavyweight champion title.
The night of, actually.
Yeah, the night of. And they were supposed to have a guy's night in Miami. And it ended up, it was a guy's night,
mm-hmm.
but it wasn't the type of guy's night that I guess Sam Cooke was looking for.
Mm-mm.
Or Jim Brown.
Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, and even Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
Yeah, wanted it was a night in Miami. That's
mm-hmm.
what they wanted. They was celebrating. They was looking for a night in Miami, and Malcolm X had something else in mind. And his thing was, we gonna come to my hotel, and we gonna just hang out. We gonna talk.
Yeah, that's the feeling I got from his character, because really no one really knows what happened in that hotel room.
Yeah, that's another thing. They don't know. Oh, and then hella spoiler alerts.
Oh yeah, we're spoiling the whole movie.
Yeah.
I know the movie just came out, but this is when you're supposed to do the reviews. So
yeah, I guess we won't say what happens in the end.
No, we have to.
Okay.
Spoilers. If we're gonna spoil the whole movie.
Okay.
So I didn't know these 4 gentlemen were like friends. They weren't like fake friends. They knew each other's family, and like what I liked about it seemed like they had a lot of real fights, or at least they made it seem like they knew each other so well. They knew each other's flaws. They knew each other's problems.
They knew how to push each other's buttons.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, they know how to push each other's buttons, but without it like going all the way to the edge right before it's, I never want to talk to you again. They got real close at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yo, all right, don't take it too far.
So I think I guess where we could start off the movie, with our movie recap is, I think where we can start is where we found out that Malcolm X is about to lead the Nation of Islam. I think that's the overarching theme of this movie.
Yeah, this was, if you know anything about Malcolm X, well, I hope you do. If you don't, then go ahead and study a little bit about him. But he was having issues with Elijah Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Honorable
Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he was basically like getting kicked out.
No, he was leaving.
No,
was he getting kicked?
He was getting kicked out. It was one of those things where like you gotta go,
right?
And without but so many words saying, for my integrity, I choose to leave. But
right.
he was being excommunicated. Like they was.
And you know what's so crazy is that, you know, there was a Malcolm X documentary not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but it seemed like Malcolm X couldn't handle being part of the Nation of Islam anymore because they weren't being true to what they were teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny enough, Sam Cooke called out the hypocrisy in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't know that Malcolm X was influential in. I don't want to say he converted.
Yeah,
he helped
convert.
He helped
convert Cassius Clay
over
to Cassius X to Muhammad Ali.
So these are the 4 big things that are happening. Malcolm X is leaving the Nation of Islam. Muhammad Ali is actually changing over to the nation, becoming a Muslim.
Yeah, through his guidance.
Yeah.
From Malcolm X.
Now, there wasn't really anything big going on with Sam Cooke. He was just their friend.
No, he was going through internal stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he just had like a really bad show that like bombed.
Right. You know what? Yeah.
What was frustrating with him is just like, yo, I got all this money. I had, you know, a top record, but at the end of the day, like, I'm still a black person, and you put me at this white venue, and you see it in the beginning scene. You put me in this white venue, and they was like, who's this nigger up here?
He couldn't even
not listening to him.
It wasn't. Yeah. It was. He could do He had a bad show. And it was like he couldn't do the show that he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. That he couldn't do his show. He had to do
the show that the venue would allow him to, pretty much.
Right.
So here's this successful artist, you know, however, he had money, top record, and he couldn't do the show that he wanted, and then the audience just wasn't feeling him. So that's like a, I don't know. I'm not going to compare it to Beyonce. It's just the first artist that comes to mind. Let's say like a Taylor Swift. Whether we like her or not, but a Taylor Swift going to a venue and her saying, this is my arrangement, this is how I want it to be, and then being like, no, this is what you got, these are our musicians, this is our system, work with it. And then the audience being like, yeah, this is a really crappy performance. You ready to go? What time is it?
Right. You know what it reminds me of? That whole situation with Sam Cooke, it reminds me of, you've seen the 5 Heartbeats.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when the 5 Heartbeats were on stage and somebody else was playing their music because they said, oh, you only can play with this piano player. And he was like messing it up for them.
Yeah.
And then Jim Brown.
He was going through internal stuff, too.
He was going through internal stuff as well.
Because he's just like...
I'm this big, famous football player. And what was so funny is that I guess he met a family friend or somebody that lived in the area.
I got the vibe that he might have been like his old football coach, maybe? I don't...
Maybe we have to watch it one more time. But it seemed like their families knew each other.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was a relationship.
White man.
There was a relationship prior to.
Yeah, and he welcomed him, like he met him on the porch, welcomed him with open arms, and made sure that his daughter brought them lemonade and was talking to him. And if you ever need anything, we're so proud of you. You're making us all so happy. And if you ever need anything at all, I'm your guy. I will do anything for you. I will do anything for your family. And then at the end of the scene, the daughter was just like, hey, Dad, can you help me move some of this furniture to the white guy? And he was just like, all right, yeah, I'll be in. And then Jim Brown was just like, and it was an older guy. He was like, you're about to move some furniture. Why don't you let me help you?
Yeah, he was just like, yo, I can, you know what, I can, because I think he felt like he didn't have to be so defensive, you know, when you're speaking to older white people or anything like that. He felt like, okay, he said that we cool. So let me with no charge, no nothing. I'm a famous football player, all this stuff. You know what? You showed me this. You showed me this gratitude.
Let me help you at least move furniture.
Yeah.
And which was interesting because he's just like, I'm this huge football player and I'm still just a guy from the neighborhood, and our friends or family, let me help you. It doesn't matter how much money I have. It doesn't matter I'm a famous football player. Let me come in and help you move your furniture. And the white guy turns and he's just like, we don't let niggers in the house. See you later, buddy. Thanks for stopping by.
I was just like because that threw me off.
It threw him off too, I'm sure.
Because I'm thinking this guy's a nice guy and all that stuff. But maybe to him, the white guy, maybe he thought that he was being nice. Because he extended, hey, whatever, I don't care. I'm not like these people in town. I'm going to offer you this, that, and the third. Yo, you're doing us proud, blah, blah, blah. But then when it came time to the house party, he's just like, no, we don't let niggas in the house. That means there's a line. There was a definitive line. And to me, he probably would never extend that courtesy to another black man or black woman, just sitting on the porch. And I was just like, wow, there were people like this. Like, they'll be nice to you because you excel so much in one area, but then there's still black person. There's still a distinction.
You still not like me. We still not the same. I got a certain small level of respect for you as an athlete, but as a human being, you're still a nigger, and you cannot come in my house. So
how would you handle that if that was just your face like that? Like, I was like, I think I would have acted the same way Jim Brown did, just dumbfounded, like
just stuck. So that was Jim Brown's thing. He was going through it internally, like, I got all this success as a football player and I'm still not getting the respect as a human being. And also it talked about him going into his acting career. He's just like, yo, I'm getting all this respect as a football player. And this isn't even necessarily my dream anymore at this point. I want to act, and I'm doing this thing that's not my dream anymore, that should be getting respect, and I'm not getting respect. And I think it kind of came to the point where he's like, yo, if being famous isn't going to get me the respect as a human being, I might as well just go ahead and do what I want to do, which is act. And also, it's a less of a toll on your body. Yeah. That's the other thing that was really apparent to me, because when he told Muhammad Ali, look how much they paying me versus how much he gets paid in the NFL, because Muhammad Ali didn't know how much money was in the movie business at that time. I'm sure none of them really knew. So when Jim Brown got offered those roles, he was just like, okay, let me see. Less of a toll on my body. Why not? Yeah. I like doing it.
And that's why we won't let our son play football.
Yeah, no.
But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. So, but it was a really interesting movie in regards to the relationship that it showed between four men. And I feel like that's how relationships really are. Like, how I view relationships with a group of close-knit guys. That's how they are, and I see that from observing you and your friends. Like, y'all joke, y'all laugh, y'all got your own things going on internally that can affect your communication with each other. You don't necessarily share what's necessarily going on with you internally, but eventually it boils over. It turns into a huge fight to the point of almost literally physically fighting each other, and then come back and being like, all right. Exactly.
And they still, had each other's back for the most part, but some of the problems that arise in the movie, I think let's start with one of them. Malcolm X. He was like the moral police, I would say. He was trying to get Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, and Muhammad Ali to join with him to be to be the voices of black people. Because he wasn't financially successful. He was just a very good he was a good communicator and brought people to the Nation of Islam. A lot it grew because of Malcolm X, at least from my understanding. And I could be wrong in that. And he wanted to get it to a higher platform. You know, like everybody has their own platforms now, but he wanted to raise the platform of the Nation of Islam so people know what's going on, especially black people. But go ahead.
No, I wasn't saying anything. Yeah, you were talking about multiple problems in the movie.
Okay, so one of the problems were between Malcolm X and Sam Cooke. Malcolm X was almost chastising Sam Cooke, but Sam Cooke, Malcolm X doesn't know what Sam Cooke was going through on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. Malcolm X was assuming that Sam Cooke is a uppity nigga doing all these uppity nigga shit, and meanwhile leaving black people in the cold, not knowing that Sam Cooke is going through his own type of situation that Malcolm X has no knowledge of. Mm-hmm. You know, so and also Sam Cooke grew up in Chicago, in the area where the Nation of Islam was present, and pointed out the hypocrisies that some of these Muslims were doing, like having babies out of wedlock, raping, stealing, and all that stuff. Meanwhile, they're showing a different side to the public. Go ahead.
I don't have anything. You're talking about the problem.
Oh, that was a problem. That was a problem between Sam Cooke and Malcolm X. They argued a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think Sam Cooke's problem with Malcolm too is that, like, he wasn't financially successful. What made him be a part of this quartet, these four? How come he's in the same room with them?
Yeah, that was something interesting that they kind of brought out towards the end of the movie, that, you know, you've got these four men that are famous and have money, whereas Malcolm X was famous, like, on a different level, mm-hmm. and didn't necessarily have the money. Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed the movie. I would recommend people to watch it, not necessarily for the historical aspect of it, because nobody really knows what happened that night. Mm-hmm. And it's just, but it draws from the facts of what was really going on in these men's lives, mm-hmm. and made an assumption of how those conversations possibly went that night, which I thought was really interesting. It was a different way to approach a movie that was influenced by real events. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would highly recommend somebody watching. The directing was great. The mm-hmm. acting was great. I love the guy that played Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. He had me laughing throughout the film, had me mad. Like, it was great acting all around. But big kudos to the guy that played Muhammad Ali. I don't even know that actor.
I don't know him either.
But he was...
I know the guy that played Sam Cooke. I've seen him in a handful. He was in Hamilton.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I think his name was like Leslie.
Maybe. Leslie Odom?
Leslie Odom.
I think, yeah. Sorry, my friend just wrote me. I was beautiful. But yeah, and this was actually Regina King's acting debut. So kudos.
Acting.
Or directorial debut. So kudos to her. Great job for a woman, which is interesting. A woman to take a movie that follows four guys. Mm-hmm. I thought that was ambitious of her, and it's also ambitious to do a story about these four guys in particular. So
it was really good, and I like the liberties that she took, because you can almost feel like these are conversations that they probably did have. Mm-hmm. You know, definitely like that. I guess that's something that we talk about now, where we ask for the prominent voices in sports and entertainment. We want them to talk about social injustice, and I think that's definitely happening now a lot with NBA players, football players are all talking about this stuff now. But in the beginning, that could have cost you your career. Mm-hmm. You know, that could have cost, but now it's a lot more prevalent. But these are where those type of things first started,
and they were struggling with, do I get chastised? Mm-hmm. or do I completely lose my career? Which, I mean, we kind of expect people to have social justice change stances and stuff like that, but you could still lose your career.
Mm-hmm.
We are how many decades away from it and taking a stand.
Sam Cooke was saying it. He was saying it.
What happened to Kaepernick? So it definitely has some... it gives us a foundation, too, of where we are today. So I rate the movie a... How would you rate it out of 5? I'm going to give it a 5.
I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Just because there's always room for improvement, I guess. But I don't have anything bad to say about it.
And the fact that she had all her timing of what happened in actual history, like how everything happened at one time. And what year was it? 1964?
5, 4.
Between 1964 and 1965?
Yeah.
Like, all those was like the detail and how accurate the timing was. Mm-hmm. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Because we went back and looked
mm-hmm.
what happened in 1964, what happened in 1965.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying earlier, that she used the historical context of what was really going on with these guys and made assumptions about how those conversations could have happened based on what was actually going on in their lives. So 5 out of 5 for me, 4.5 out of you.
Just because, it could have been more, but
yeah,
I'll watch it again. I am going to watch it again.
Yeah. So 5 out of 5.